Good Morning Gwinnett, a division of Noise Media Network, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, sharing stories about people and places around beautiful Gwinnett County and beyond. Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Southern living at its best.
Good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land and all of you around the world listen to the sound of my voice. It is a rainy day here in Georgia. I'm talking about raining all over Georgia, y'all. All over Gwinnett, all over Georgia. 55 degrees, going up to a high of 56, but it's raining. And when I tell you I hate being in the rain, I hate being in the rain. So I had some errands to run this morning, but guess what? I ain't running no errands this morning. Not gonna happen because I hate going out in the rain. I know some people don't even get rain. I get it. I know. I just don't like being in the rain. But it's a rainy day right now. It's gonna rain all day long. Now they had said we were gonna have snow tomorrow. I don't think we're going to have any snow tomorrow. Maybe some flurries. But here's the thing. The temperature is going to go up a little bit. It's going to be kind of cold tomorrow, too. 33 degrees. It's going to be 33 degrees tomorrow. But then on Sunday, it's going to go back up to 54. Y'all know we got crazy weather here in Georgia. It's going to be 17. Then it's going to be 60. It's just how it is. But anyway, listen, I got a guest today. Y'all know I have a wonderful guest. And I'm excited. You know, it's so funny because I normally have guests and I'm excited about them. But she just gave me so much energy, y'all. She is laughing. She sounds like she's happy and fun. I love that. I had a guest one time and I'm telling you, I said to her, I think y'all heard me tell the story. I said, hey, have you ever did a podcast before? She said, you must have didn't read my bio. And this is how she said it. And I was like, well, yeah, I read your bio, but it didn't say you did podcasts before. And I was like, ugh. So right out the gate, I was like, okay, not going to be a good interview. However, she turned out to be a great interview. But I'm telling you, I was like, ugh, you know. But anyway, today is National, of course, it's Christmas Eve, of course. It's also National Eggnog Day, which I'm thinking we don't even have eggnog. We got all kinds of wines, but no eggnog, which I like, and I need some. And it's also National Regifting Day. Now, if I didn't have a guest today, we would talk about this whole regifting thing, but I got a guest today, so we won't talk about that. Have you ever regifted something? If you've ever regifted something, go over Instagram, right, and tell me what you regifted and who you gave it to. That's at Good Morning Gwinnett. If you've ever regifted somebody, go to my Instagram, Good Morning Gwinnett. Tell me what you regifted and who you regifted to. I just want to know because people be regifting stuff. I don't think I've ever regifted anything. I really don't. All right, I'm not going to talk a lot about anything today because I got a great guest and you want to hear what she has to say, especially if you are a business owner and you hate collecting debt collections. If you hate that, you need to listen to what she has to say. And oh my God, I wait. All right, so today we're going to do our horoscopes brought to you by Noted Astrologer Michael Thiason. For today, December the 24th, Christmas Eve. You've made it to Christmas Eve. It's almost over. I know some of you hate Christmas. I interviewed Kim Beasley last week, and Kim said to me, and it was so funny. I said, she said, are you one of those people that decorate your houses, right? And I said, well, we do a little something. We put like lights on the trees outside, lights on the ground, lights. She said, oh my God, I knew it. I knew you were one of those people. I thought that was hilarious. And so my husband and I was out shopping on Saturday, and we saw this house. That house was crazy. I'm talking about stuff was everywhere. And had it not been traffic behind me, I would have jumped out the car and took a picture and sent it to Kim. Said, Kim, look, this is my house. The house was crazy. It was stuff everywhere. But I am one of those people that decorate my house because I truly love Christmas. It's my favorite season, favorite holiday of the year. And so I'm excited. But listen, I had to talk to you guys and I had to bring you a good guest. So let me stop talking. Let me go ahead with the horoscopes. We're going to kick it off like we always do. And that is with Aries. You might have a problem juggling your time. You may find it difficult to communicate with someone at work. Involvement in groups will be favorable. Business partnerships will be lucrative. All right, listen here, Aries. Y'all know I like talking about business. Business partnerships are going to be lucrative, but here's the thing. Make sure that everybody know their role in your business. That's the only thing I have to say right now. I could go deep into this, but I won't. I'm going to save this for next year because I'm going to have a special segment next year. It's going to be called Talk Business with Audrey. Yes, it's going to be on Wednesdays. We're going to talk business. And then on Thursdays, we're going to do our spotlight guests like we're doing today. That's what I was telling you guys yesterday. I'm segmenting the show a little bit different this year. I want to bring more positive energy because, the news riled me up. Like, I see some stupid stuff in the news and it just ticks me off. So I'm trying to stay more zen this year. So I'm going to, Tuesday is going to be your best life. And then Monday is going to be the word of the week with Georgette. And then Thursday is spotlight. So these are the new segments coming for 2021. I'm trying to stay more zen and keep my energy high. Yeah, I know, because when I start talking politics, it's like, ugh. All right. Taurus. Travel will lead you in new directions. You can accomplish a lot if you put some effort into your household duties or redecorating plans. Be prepared to overcome frustrations and obstacles at work. Listen, you got some stuff that's going to pop up at work, Taurus. Be prepared. Be prepared. You can overcome it. Here's the thing. Don't dwell on it. Don't hit it head on. Hit it head on, right? Deal with it and then move on. Don't dwell on it. Deal with it, then move on. That's all I'm saying. Gemini, put your efforts into physical fitness programs or competitive sports. Existing problems must be dealt with one way or another. Personal problems may be hanging over your head, but don't confront the situation. Listen, listen, y'all wouldn't even believe it. I bowl competitively. I'm a competitor. I bowl in the league. Not high. Listen, I'm not a high profile competitor, but I do bowl competitively. We're off today. We normally bowl on Thursday, but we're off into the new year. So listen, Gemini, find you something that you like. I like sports, right? And I bowl, and I've been bowling for a long time. I used to bowl when I was in Jersey. I bowl now, and I like bowling. If I could play softball or something like that, I would, but I have a bad knee, so that's not. I had surgery on my knee when I was in Jersey when I was bowling. But you find something competitive, some kind of physical fitness. Now, I hate exercising. And to me, bowling is a form of exercising, which is fun. So that's why the goal is to practice on Sunday, practice on Tuesday, and bowl on Thursday. That's going to keep me more active. So that's my plan. So what's your plan, Gemini? Pick a plan. Pick one that's fun for you so you can stick to it. I go to bowling every Thursday. I'm dedicated and committed. Cancer. You may have a tendency to put on weight. Don't we all? Oh my God. Sudden romantic encounters are quite likely, but discretion will be a must. Keep calm. Someone around you is bouncing off the walls. I don't know who that is bouncing off the walls. Maybe they are excited about Christmas. Maybe they had a little too much eggnog. I don't know. But someone around you, Cancer, is going to be bouncing off the wall. I don't know. Put some padding up. You don't want them to hurt themselves. Leo. Hassle with in-laws could put a damper on your day. You will want to complain about the injustice that is going on. Emotional situations could bring out your stubborn nature. Oh, Lord. You don't want the Leo to be stubborn. Leos can be stubborn. One of my best friends, the Leo, she's here today. She flew in yesterday, and she could be stubborn. Yes, she can. And she's been my best friend since 14 years old, and we're little old ladies now. And they could be stubborn. Yes, they can. I know firsthand. Virgo. Uncertainty regarding your mate may emerge. Ooh, reevaluate what you see in each other. Oh, that's nice. Risky ventures may turn in your favor. Your courage and willpower will enable you to get rid of destructive habits as well. Congratulations to you, Virgo, because you got the courage and the willpower to get rid of things that have been destructive in your life. Congratulations on that. And I wish you more willpower. All right, I'm going to a song. I'll be right back after this song so I can finish up the horoscope and bring you my guest for today. She is the Cash Collector. Stay tuned. welcome back. Listen, y'all know I had to play a Christmas song. It was so funny because I was like, I can't believe I haven't played a Christmas song the whole month of December. So you got a Christmas song, you got one more to go. All right, welcome back to the show. It's your girl, Audrey Bell Kearney, giving you the Daily Horoscopes, brought to you by noted astrologer Micah Thyssen. We're going to pick it up with Libra. Lowered vitality could affect your work. You will have problems with coworkers if you are too extreme about doing things perfectly. Your family needs to spend some time with you. Yeah, spend some time with your family, especially today, right? Especially today. Yeah, just spend some time. And don't be listen, there's no such thing as perfection. It just isn't. So stop trying to be perfect. You're messing up things. You're messing up the coworkers. You're going to cause problems. You're too extreme. Relax. It can't be perfect. It's always going to be something wrong. Scorpio, opportunities for travel and socializing are evident. Get help to finish a project if you need it. Don't trust coworkers with important or personal information. You know what that says, Scorpio? If you don't want it to get out, keep it to yourself. Shut your mouth and don't share your personal information with your people. That's right. Don't do it. It's going to slip out. It's going to be your fault. It's not going to be theirs because you didn't have to tell them. Sagittarius, don't make any unreasonable promises. You need time to rejuvenate. Your social skills with people may need just a little bit more help. Yeah, I know. Sagittarius, it's hard socializing sometimes. You don't want to socialize. I hate networking. I tell y'all that all the time, right? I hate networking because networking is funny. Networking, you got to go. You got to make small talk. I hate small talk. That's my problem. Like when I'm in an intimate group, in an intimate setting, I like intimate groups and intimate settings. I hate small talk. I really, really do hate small talk. So you won't get any small talk out of me. So I don't really like networking that much because I have to do small talk. And we have like we do one networking event at the chamber. We had to do like 20 questions. That's pretty cool because we had 20 ideas because now I get to share ideas. I love that part. But that's why I started my own community. It's called the Butterfly Squad. And the Butterfly Squad is a community of women that I've launched recently. And the goal there is to not only network with other women, but we have master classes quarterly. We have mastermind meetings monthly, which I love. I think masterminds are one of the greatest ways to help you build your business and help you stay accountable and help you get feedback from people who understand your plight. If you're on this journey as an entrepreneur, you need to be in a group like that. So I looked at something that I would love as an entrepreneur, and I've been one for 23 years. So the Butterfly Squad is going to be that for you. So if you need accountability, if you need women to lean on when you can't stand up straight, you want to come to our group, And if there's not a woman you can lean on, you can lean on me. Patience. If you want people to be patient, join the Butterfly Squad. It's not just a community of women. We're a movement. And the goal is to help 1,000 women in 2021 build their businesses so they can create legacies. That's the tagline. Women building businesses and creating legacies. That's our goal. And we got the Butterfly Creed. Go check it out. Listen, this is a different kind of community. I got music in the community. I know I love music. Go to thebutterflysquad.com, the butterflysquad.biz, thebutterflysquad.biz. Check it out. Check out the website. I got music as soon as you get there because y'all know I love music. Capricorn, you will earn recognition for the work you are doing. Don't let your health suffer because of worry. Talk to someone you trust if you can make a phone call instead of going out. Listen, right now, they're telling you to stay in as much as you can. So if you can make the phone call and not go out, make the phone call and don't go out. But just talk to somebody. Someone that you trust, though. Not just anybody. Because you want everybody in your business. I know. Aquarius, you will be able to make changes regarding your living arrangements. You will find the unfinished projects at home will be the most satisfying. Don't let your partner put you down. Listen, don't let anybody put you down, Aquarius. I can't get into that too deep right now, but stand up for yourself. You know what I mean? That's anybody. Anybody listen to the sound of my show, don't let anybody put you down. Stand up for yourself. Believe in yourself. Because when you do that, no one can put you down. You have to stand up for yourself. Because if you don't stand up for yourself, you got people out there who feel horrible about themselves, and they will try to put you down to make themselves feel better. Don't let anybody do that. Last but not least, my fellow fish Pisces, plan some family outings. You can complete any projects efficiently, especially if you put the effort in yourself. Think twice before you volunteer information. I ain't volunteering nothing today. I don't know about you, fish, but this fish right here, she ain't volunteering no information. Well, let me say this. I'm not volunteering any information that's not needed. Let me say that. I'm going to rephrase that. I will volunteer information only if it's needed. If it's not needed, no information will be volunteered. None. Zilp. Zero. All right. So all the horoscopes I got for today. I'll be back again on Monday to bring you more horoscopes. Brought to you by Noda Astrology Mike Thas. I want to give a few birthday shout outs real quick. Happy shout out to my cousin Shay. Her birthday is tomorrow. My cousin Shay, my cousin Pookie, and my great grandmother Maddie. Though both of those in heaven, happy birthday, y'all. People, I love you to life. And one of my other best friends, Angie, happy birthday, girl. She is home. Y'all pray for her. She has COVID. Her sister and her two sisters, and all three of them have COVID. And she's a germaphobe. So the fact that she got it, I'm like, okay. But she loves her family too. So she's always around her family. So they kind of spread it. But anyway, happy birthday, guys. Love you all so much. Miss you, Grandma. And Pookie was funny, y'all. He was so funny. I miss him too. All right, let's get on with my guest. So my guest today is the cash collector. She's gonna share with us 5 ways that you can collect that cash, and if you can't, she knows how you can, and she's helped. Listen here. One of her clients is the United States Coast Guard. She has helped them recover $18.3 million. Yes. First, I want to know how she got that contract. We're going to talk about that. But here's something really nice. While we were talking off the show, she said she has just been featured in Forbes. Listen, y'all. Did you hear what I said? I said Forbes. Yes, that Forbes. That is amazing. I want to congratulate her again. And we're going to be talking about her 52-week saving challenge. I think that's amazing. We're going to start the new year off right. We're going to put some savings in place, and she's going to tell us how to do this challenge. So when she comes back next year in January to talk about what you did and what you didn't do, we're going to find out how well you did. So without further ado, I would like to welcome my guest today, Miss D. Bowden. She is the president and founder of BCS Solutions. She is a recovering specialist. Welcome, D.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Miss Audrey. As I like to say, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you listen to this fabulous podcast around the world. I am D. Bowden. I'm the founder and CEO of BCS Solutions. It's an honor and privilege to be here. Happy holidays, everybody. Happy holidays.
Thank you so much for being here. Listen, I told y'all, I'm smiling right now, right? Because I could feel D's energy through the microphone. That's the funny thing. I'm telling you, it's rare when I have a guest and I feel their energy like that. So she has great energy. So thank you for being my guest this morning. Now, where are you located?
I am actually in Frederick, Maryland.
All right. Okay. All right. She's down there in Frederick, Maryland. Is it cold there? Because it's raining here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was listening to you as you do the show, and I'm cracking up. And I was cracking up about a couple of things. Number one, I heard you go through all the horoscopes, and I heard you talk about Leos and how Leos are stubborn. I was like, do I tell her that I'm a Leo? I'm like, do I put myself on blast?
Yes.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna tell them Leo.
Yeah. Listen, my one of my best friends, she's in the guest room right now sleeping, is a Leo, but she is the most dependable person ever. Like, she is, like, that's the person you need to lean. I can lean on her. And I've been leaning on her for, like, the last 30 years. We are just that old. Probably, let me see. Yeah. We've been leaning on each other just that long. So,
but that's beautiful. But yeah, Leos we're dependable. We're very independent.
Yes.
But we're consistent people. Like
yes.
If we say we're coming someplace,
yes.
You can count on it. We will break our necks to get there. But we don't get there.
Yes, ma'am. Very dependable. Like, I love her to life. I love her to life. She's my daughter's godmother, and I'm her daughter's godmother. But dependable, absolutely. Like, and that's what I love about her. Like, it's 3 people that I would trust with my money, and she's one of them. And so, because I know she's gonna do the right thing. And if I say, hey, I need you to do it this way, she's going to do it that way, and she's going to do it on time. It was so funny when we were in high school, it was 3 of us, right? And we're going to get up on that interview, but I got to tell you this story. When we were in high school, it was 3 of us. I was always in the middle, right? She wouldn't break any rules. My other friend would break all the rules. I would break some of the rules. And I remember one time we were in 12th grade. And so, 12th grade, you can kind of do what you want to do. We were cutting class. It was 12th grade. Like, let's cut the class. We got outside. The bus stopped in front of the school door. We all went to Westside High School in Newark. The bus stopped right in front of the door. We had one foot on the bus. We turned around. She was going back in the building. She's like, I can't do it. She would not break the rules, y'all. So me and my other friend broke the rules, got on the bus. One of them fell up under the bus, because we shouldn't have been out there anyway. But she's the one that would not break the rules. Me, I'm gonna break them sometimes. My other friend gonna break them all the time. This is how it was, and it's so funny. It's always been that way, and we're grown women right now, and it's the same way. There's some things she just won't do. I straddle the fence, and the other one's gonna go all the way. It's always been that way, and we've been friends a long time, so that's funny. So D, I'm so glad to have you. Congratulations on your Forbes write-up. So tell us how you got, first tell us what BCS Solutions is, and then I want you to tell us how you got that big, huge feature in Forbes.
All right, well, first off, so BCS Solutions is a revenue recovery company. So let me tell you you know what, before we get into Forbes, how about I tell you how BCS Solutions got started, then we'll talk about Forbes. Is that
absolutely,
okay?
and that's fine.
All right, so the way BCS Solutions got started was this. So about 15 years ago, I used to work for a small IT company outside of Boston, where I'm originally from. I got hired by the collections department to collect $8 million.
Wow.
So as you were doing my introduction, you talk about big numbers. So I've always dealt with big numbers. So I get hired by this small company. We're talking a small company, about 100 people or less. The collections department brings me in and said, listen, we need somebody who can join the team. We need you to put your collection skills together and help us recover this money. I'm like, okay, cool. So you know how you get hired, you get to your cubicle, you're looking around, you're like, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so I get to my cubicle, I sit down, and there's a welcome aboard. Here's your list of accounts you need to get to work. So when I saw that they had $8 million in outstanding sales, that means they sold a bunch of computer equipment, software licenses, all kinds of things, but they sold them, but they hadn't gotten paid. I'm like, wow. So I'm a believer. So my story goes like this. I get my list, and I'm like, I got to go talk to God. So it goes like this. Hey, God. Yes, D. How are you? You know what, God? Overall, I'm great, but I got this $8 million problem, and I don't know how to solve this. So I get quiet, and he's like, you need help? Yes, sir. I for real need some help, because $8 million, and I'm a part-time employee. So, you know, the spotlight is on me to recover this money. So after I get with God, I get quiet for a moment, and I get my download. I'm like, okay, cool. I discovered the collections, business-to-business collections is three things. It's problem-solving, number one, because you think about it. I had an $8 million problem. Number two, it's an extension of customer service. And number three, my secret sauce to all of my successes is gratitude. So I solved my $8 million problem by recovering $6 million in 60 days while working part-time. Now, you're like, oh, my gosh, that's amazing. And it is. But all of this will tell you why BCS Solutions exists. So around October 24th or 5th, 2005, the CEO of the company says, listen, everybody come downstairs. Now, y'all know I just collected $6 million. I'm thinking we about to get a bonus. No, sir. No, ma'am. We come downstairs. He says, listen, we need to have a chat. And I jokingly say at this point, if you have a boo or a booette, and he or she says, we need to talk to you, like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't even want to hear this. So we get downstairs, and he says, listen, I want to thank everybody for your service. So that's sales, that's contracts, that's order entry, that's invoicing, and my department, collections. I want to thank everybody for your services. We appreciate everything you've done. We're making an executive decision. We're closing the business. You got 30 minutes to go get your stuff, pack up your little box and your plant, and leave the building. This is 2 months before Christmas. So after working that hard to recover that much money, leave the building, have a good cry, and go, what in the world just happened here? I realized that the sale is not complete until the money is in the bank. And so because of the people who were not managing the sales, and we're not managing the collections, and we're not managing it to make sure that everything was happening from sales to the money being in the bank, that could happen over and over and over again. And so many, many years later, I created BCS Solutions to address this issue, because I know that when people start businesses, they're super excited about, you know, bringing in their product, their service to market. And unfortunately, because the sales part is the sexy part, but collecting money is the non-sexy part, I decided to create BCS Solutions to teach business owners, small, medium, and large, that, listen, the sale has to be complete and the money has to be in the bank. And if you neglect the back end, you can end up just like what happened to me. And then what happened to me is a personal story. This is me working for somebody else, building somebody else's dream, watching this happen. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And if you forward to 2020, we're watching tons of companies that have gone out of business, because some of it is because of COVID. Some of it is also because of the fact that they had sales on the book, and they're, oh, I'll collect it later. And then you didn't collect it, and now you're short on cash. And so my goal with BCS Solutions is to teach you to track your accounts, number one, but most importantly, Don't leave money on the table.
You know, D, it's so funny because normally what I do, I ask for my money up front, but I did a deal with a pretty well-known organization here in Gwinnett County, and I have an outstanding invoice right now. And I'm like, okay, so how many times do I need to call them about this invoice? It's like crazy because you feel like, well, I feel like I done called you 3 times, I done emailed you 3 times. What do I have to do next? And so they're probably, and so, you know, I think for me, it was like, well, I don't want to look like I'm desperate. So my mom's like, call them again. And I was like, well, I don't want to look desperate. So what do you say to the entrepreneur who says, I don't want to look desperate, but they owe me money?
Well, and Audrey, that's a great question because I talk about this all the time. I say that most people would rather get a root canal than have to go ask for money because you just gave me a perfect example. You don't want to ruffle the feathers of your customer. But here's the thing. They have a contract or an agreement with you. You provided a product or a service, and they need to invoice you. And usually what I recommend is that, like your mother said, I would call them. And if you continue to call them and you're not getting anywhere, that's where someone like me comes in because I know how to go in and figure out, okay, what's the disconnect? Because usually when they're stalling to pay you, they're not going to tell you that, but you need to have somebody that can work on your behalf to say, okay, what's the issue? Because usually when they're not paying you, something is not right. But sometimes they're too embarrassed to tell you that, so they'll just keep ignoring you. Or it's either the invoice got lost, somebody forgot to approve the payment, or there's something else. But you need somebody who can basically get into the weeds of it because you shouldn't have to spend your time getting into the weeds of why haven't they paid you. That's what I do. That's what BCS Solutions does.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that. I'm gonna give them a little bit more time. I said I was gonna call them next week. I said I'm gonna give them. My mom like, you need to just call because my mom, she probably would be a good collector because my daughter D. My daughter worked for a company and she did just what she went in there. She was killing it. And I was like, so I said to her, you like collections? And she's like, I love it. I feel like, so they had a board and it showed how much money he was bringing in every day from collections. And I was like, who the heck like collections? You? So, there are a lot of people who really do not want to do collections. But I realized, as a business owner, you either know how to do it yourself or hire somebody like you. So, do you work with small business owners? Is it certain business owners? Because I know we talk about some big numbers, 8 million, 18.3 million. Who do you work with?
So I work with small and medium-sized companies. So I work across the board. I work with small companies, medium-sized companies, and large companies, and obviously government agencies. My specialty has been in the IT and the telecom and the software companies, but I'm also going to expand that to other industries as well. Because the thing is, I'm finding that a lot of small businesses, they're great at what they do. They sell, but they don't want to do it at the back end. And I also know that the person that I'm speaking to is a company that is past the point where you can resolve this yourself. What I mean by that is this: if you can get your money up front, you don't need me. Because if you have an agreement already in place and you can basically swipe out, you can get a PayPal, you can get a Cash App, you can do Zelle, you can call the person up and say, listen, your credit card, did not go through. Of course, it's a little embarrassing. Okay, excuse me. Okay, let me either correct that and either make a payment and then you can charge the card in a couple of days, or B, I need to use another card. You can a lot of the small businesses that have small outstanding accounts, they can be fixed with using a phone call because usually it's pretty simple. You can swipe out a credit card. You can old school cash. You can fix that. I come from corporate so I'm dealing with people here in my story. I deal with large dollar amounts because that's what I've been accustomed to. But for the small business owner, I don't want them to feel left out. So I can deal with you if you've got $1,000 outstanding and you have all your ducks in a row. We can definitely have a conversation because whether it's $1,000, $5,000, $500,000, or you've heard me say earlier millions, it doesn't matter. The principles are still the same. Business collections is problem solving. How come you even get paid? Extension of customer service, and then my secret sauce happens to be gratitude. So
let's talk about that for a second.
You asked me another question. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's talk about gratitude because you said that twice already. You said my secret sauce is gratitude. Explain what you mean by that.
Sure thing. So when you think about it, it's so funny. I say it this way: when you were a kid, your mother, father, grandmother, whoever raised you, usually taught you 2 things. They always taught you to say 2 things: please, and the other word was thank you. I learned that by recovering money, because I recover money for a living, that saying thank you to the person who took my phone call, who researched the problem that I was having with getting my invoices paid, who actually did the extra steps to actually go make sure my invoice got into the system actually the check got cut and I actually got it. When I went back and told them thank you, so literally I start off with thank you for taking my phone call. Most people are like, are you kidding? No, I'm not. This is literally how I do business. Thank you for taking my phone call. Thank you for researching the issue that's holding up my money. That part. And number three, thank you for making sure that the actual check got cut, or that the ACH went through. That basically the point is that the money went from your account to the company I'm collecting for, their account, and we got it done. And then coming back and saying thank you to the people. And here's the thing. Most of the people that work in accounts receivable, accounts payable, order entry, what people consider the low entry fruit or low entry job, nobody usually comes back and says thank you. And I learned that going back and saying thank you to those people who are the people who are on the front lines of business, it makes a difference, because that means they're being seen. And because I started my career off as a data entry clerk, I know firsthand what it's like to be the person that no one sees, nobody values you. And when I learned that going back and saying thank you to them was the catalyst for things changing, for them helping me. And then when I kept seeing the success, every time I went back and said thank you, every time I acknowledged them, now I get on the phone and I can just have a conversation. Hey, this is D from BCS Solutions. Hey, D, how you doing? What do you need? It's because I have built up a track record of saying thank you and acknowledging that what they do helps me or helps my clients get their money. Who wouldn't go back and say thank you? And that's the secret sauce.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I was listening to you as you said, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. I'm big on gratitude. And that's why I wanted to hear your take on it. I'm big on gratitude, and I'm a thank you please person, and I'm going to give you the notes. Let me tell you this real quick. I went through an accelerator in 2015 here. And anytime I'm excited about something in the email, I always use an exclamation point, right? And the woman that was doing the accelerator, she's like, never use an exclamation point in your emails. And I was like, why? In my mind, I'm like, why is that? She's like, it's not professional. So what she was really saying was, you need to be like this tough, rugged woman in business. And I was saying to myself, that is not me. Not me at all. I mean, I'm tough, but I'm not that person that's so rough and tough till I'm like a dude. Like, that's not me. And and I realized that's not me. And so I got asked to speak at the at Podfest in March. So I went to Florida. I spoke at Podfest, and I was speaking to editors, right? And I was like, I asked the guy, why do you want me to speak to the editors? He said, because people like you. I was like, yeah. He's like, they need people to like them because they're in business. So I was like, well. So here's my thing. My secret sauce is empathy, right? And patience. That's my secret sauce, D. And he wanted me to say something different, but that's my secret sauce. My secret sauce to getting clients and keeping clients and have them rave about me is empathy and patience. And because that's who I am, at the core of who I am. And so I'm speaking to a room full of men, right? And I'm saying to myself, now these guys are not going to be, they're not going to like what I have to say, because I'm talking about patience and empathy. They don't have that. And sure enough, one guy came to me. So it was 2 women in the group. It was about 30 people. 2 of them were women. They loved it. They was like, oh my God, that was amazing. The guys didn't say anything. One guy came to me. He said, he said, I thought your talk was really good. He said, but honestly, I don't have time for empathy. I said, I know. I said, so then you need to hire somebody who has time for empathy to make sure that they take care of your clients. So, gratitude and patience and empathy, all of those things make for good customer service. And that helps people talk about who you are and what you do. Like my clients rave about, they make me blush sometimes. They say such good things. I'm like, oh my God. But it's because I've taken the time to really listen to what they had to say and help them solve their problems. So that's my secret sauce. That's pretty cool. So now, there are some people that's listening right now. They said, man, I don't have millions of dollars. I probably can't even afford D. I know that you have 5 ways to help people secure the cash flow. Give us a couple of those tips on how to do that.
Number one of the ways you can secure your cash flow is you can set up what's called a tracking system. And so the tracking system allows you to see how many accounts you have. So I'll give you a quick lesson. So first thing is track how many accounts you have. So if you're listening, get your pen and paper, write this down. Number 1, you can do it like on a whiteboard, or you can do an Excel spreadsheet, doesn't matter. But number 1, what's the name of your customer? That's the first thing. Number 2, what's the contract number? If you have a contract number, you might not have one. Number 3, what's the value of the contract? How much is it for? Let's say it's for $1,000. And number 4, what did they buy from you? Did they buy from you 10 sneakers, 1 sneaker? Doesn't matter. Write it down. Number 5, when are you supposed to deliver it to them? Number 6, when you're supposed to send the invoice, the bill. And number 7, when you're supposed to get paid. I teach this because, number 1, if you learn how to track how many accounts you have, whether you have one account or many, you'll see the process go through. His name of my customer, here's the contract number if you have one. This is how much the contract is for. It's worth $1,000. They bought how many sneakers? 10 sneakers. When am I supposed to deliver it to them? When am I supposed to invoice them? And when am I supposed to get paid? That's number one. That teaches you how to track what's going on with your customers. And number 2, you learn to see, okay, I have one customer, and I've worked them through this system. Now I need to do the same thing with the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So that's one thing. Another thing you can do, is in terms of 5 ways to secure your cash flow or collect it, is set goals. Most people are like, what? Yeah. Well, just like in sales, if you're in business, you set goals for sales, right? I'm assuming that you do. You set a goal of how many customers you want to have in a month. Well, on the same end, you need to set goals for how much money you plan to bring in for the month. And so if you start off by tracking how many customers you have, and then you know how many sales you have that's outstanding, then you know how much money is out there that's invoiced, and then how much money is due to come back. So those are 2 things. Number one, tracking, and number 2, setting goals. And then the last thing I would tell you to do is write it down. Most people are like, "Are you kidding?" No, I'm not. I'm telling you to write it down, because what you can see gets measured. And if you don't measure it, you don't track it, you don't know. And that's what happens. And that's kind of what happened in the story earlier when I was talking about the money that had been outstanding. They didn't write it down. They didn't really track it, and they just let it keep going. And unfortunately, they didn't address it. And so by the time it got addressed, it was way too late.
You know, that's one of the things I have to give myself credit for. When it comes to numbers, I'm good with them numbers. So I'm tracking everything. I'm like, okay, I'm good with numbers. It's so funny. When I was in school, that was my sweet spot, math and science. So that's probably why I'm a geek right now. But I'm good with them numbers. So I track that stuff. And so I'll be like, I got a list of things and sheets, and that, because that's how I have to live my life, because I need to know what's happening all the time. And, you know, because I manage mine, I manage the business, I manage my everything with my husband. Like I manage all that stuff, so I need to know, like, okay, what's going on here, what's going on there, and that's funny and that's important. Now, as you were talking, I was thinking to myself. I said, there are people who have bookkeepers and things like this. Is this a skill that a bookkeeper needs to have or should have? Because it sounds like they should. For me, like, it sounds like it could be an extra stream of revenue for a bookkeeper, actually.
It could be, but I mean, I've learned that there are a lot of bookkeepers. They'll help you with setting up your accounts. They'll help you with doing invoices. But a lot of bookkeepers don't like to collect money, because they're like, I do. Because some of them I've talked to, they're saying, I track your expenses for you. I better enter all your things for you. I already set up everything. Why do I also want to have to collect your money? But it's. I'm not going to say that they shouldn't do it. I'm just saying some of them have told me, why should I have to do that? In addition to that, I say that, listen, if you're as a bookkeeper, if you can do the full cycle for your customers, yes, absolutely do it. But if you get to the point where there's certain things you do, and the collections, the B2B, business to business collections is not your lane, well, now you have a resource, which is BCS Solutions, which does that. Speaking of which, you asked me a question earlier in the conversation. You said, how did I get into it? You said, you can't recognize in Forbes. I'm like, I know you want to talk to me about that.
I do. Because, it's so funny. Like, I was telling Dee offline, y'all, that she's the third person that I've talked to this week. Third. I spoke at a conference on Friday. And then I interviewed Kim Beasley, that I met on LinkedIn, right? So I met her on LinkedIn. And Dee, I think we met on LinkedIn too, right?
We've been on LinkedIn as well, absolutely.
So we met on LinkedIn.
I'm telling you, listen, y'all. LinkedIn, listen. If you're in business, you need to be on LinkedIn. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say about that part.
So now Kim, so Dee said to me she just got the news in the last 24 hours that she had been featured in Forbes. Y'all heard me talk about that at the beginning of the show. Yes, I said it right, Forbes. Please tell us how you got it. And I got a couple of other questions too, but let's talk about. Well, you know what? Hold up. Let's back up a second. I want to know about the government contract that you had, because I know there are a lot of people out there who are trying to get government contracts. Was that a government contract itself that you were able to go into the United States Coast Guard and recover $18.3 million? Was that a contract under like some kind of government plan, or did you just know somebody and they said, hey, we need your help? How did that come about?
So how that came about was actually that was part of my career. So so let me set the record straight. I'm a dualpreneur, which means I still have a career and I'm building my business.
Oh.
And so when I recovered, so I'm a dualpreneur, and I want people to understand that there are a lot of people that are out here, wanting to jump out here, full-fledged and start their business, and they have no clue, no training, no plans on how to do this, and they're failing. So you're hearing it from me directly. Yes, the person who just got featured in Forbes. Yes, I'm a dualpreneur. I have a career and I have my business. So let me put that out there. So number one. Number two, I was working for a company that actually had a contract with the United States Coast Guard, and so the numbers that you're reading that was my team's how much my team collected for the $18 million. I personally got cited by the United States Coast Guard for recovering $7.5 million, and I worked with 10 different branches of the Navy. And so I have always been in contract administration. I've always been in receivables management. I've always been dealing with contracts, money, and problems. And so it just so happened that when I got hired by the company that I used to work for, they had a contract with the United States Coast Guard headquarters. I was selected by the contracting officer to be the liaison between him and 10 different branches of the Navy. And so I was able to do what I said, which is problem solve, obviously do customer service, and express gratitude. And they cited me for recovering. I personally recovered $7.5 million in 1 year and brought that back to the United States Coast Guard. And so those kinds of things happen because, number one, I'm not to be braggadocious, but I'm good at what I do. Mm-hmm. But on top of that, I understand, relationships. I understand money. I understand contracts. I understand problem solving. I understand the systems. And so I say that to say that because the people that want to get into government contracting, and then it's a lucrative business, absolutely, but you have to be prepared. You have to actually have your business set up legally to do business with the government, and there's a whole process. That would be another show we could talk about. There are people that I could refer people to talk about that and learn that part. But that's how I got there.
Nice. Now let's talk about Forbes, because I wanted to know about that, because I know I talked to a lot of people, and one of the things I went to over at Alabama State University, they had a event last year, and I went and they were talking about how they were helping small businesses secure government contracts and things like that. So that's when you start talking about government contracts, everybody wants to know how to do that, because they figure that's the fast track to getting to $1 million, because that's what they tell you. You want to get to $1 million quick, get a government contract. It's not that simple though. It's a whole lot of red tape. So I just wanted to.
It is, and I'm so glad that you said that, because here's the thing. I'll say this and we'll move on. But here's the thing. Everybody talks about getting a government contract like you go into the store and you pick up a bottle of apple juice or orange juice. It is not that simple. Number one, you have to be established as a legitimate business. You have to have your articles of organization. You have to have your EIN number, which is your employer identification number, which is basically the Social Security number for your business, like you have for your personal one. You have to have a business banking account. Mm-hmm. They're not dealing with you with Cash App or Zelly or anything like that. Number four, you actually have to have a website that they can go check and confirm that you actually have this. Number five, if you do business with the government, if you have to be licensed, you need to have your license, and it needs to be to show them that you're qualified. There's a lot of things you have to do. And then on top of that, what is it that you actually plan to sell to the government? Because they have a code. It's called a NAICS code, which basically tells you your service or your product has a code that is used for the government to identify. Do we buy this from companies like you? And then why would we buy yours? There's a whole thing. There's a process. You have to bid. You have to write a proposal. You have to demonstrate why you are the preferred choice over somebody else that's doing the same thing. And so that's just a quick overview about it. But is it lucrative? Yes. But there are ways to get trained so that you learn how to do it and do it well. Yes. And I would recommend that you, number one, if you were going to want to learn how to do that, register with the Small Business Administration. Let them teach you how to do this correctly.
Thanks for that information. Now we could talk about Forbes. I know. It took us a minute, y'all, to get there, but she is an amazing person, as you could tell, with a ton of information and resources and a lot of skills. So tell us, Dee, how did you get in Forbes? Because that's probably, I used to say I've made it when I was on the cover of Black Enterprise. Now, here's the thing, y'all. She's been in Black Enterprise, too. She's been there also. She's been all over the place. NBC, ABC, CBS, everywhere. But I want to talk about Forbes right now.
Well, how I got on Forbes is that literally thanks to LinkedIn. one of my buddies actually had just been featured in Forbes, and I wrote a note to say, expressing gratitude. I congratulated her and said, "Hey, this is phenomenal. How did you, I said, thank you for, first of all, I said, thank you for what you do in the world." She creates these glitter boxes for women to feel better, to do great self-care. So I sent her a quick note, "Hey, congrats on what you did." And then I saw the person that actually wrote the article, and I literally just reached out to her and said, "Hey, this is a true story." I literally said to her, I pitched my request to be interested in Forbes, and I said, "Here's what I'm looking to do. I would love to be able to do this." And here's the cool thing, y'all. I told her that Forbes was on my vision board. This is a true story.
Wow.
Forbes is on my vision board, and if you and I were face to face, I would show you my vision board on my phone. And so I pitched what I wanted to talk about, and it just so happens that she is a CPA, and if I was working for her directly, I would be a direct report to her because I do collections. And if you know CPAs and chief financial officers, they're always looking at sales and looking at how much money is outstanding. And so when I told her what I do for a living, she was like, "Oh, this is interesting." So I pitched what I do. We had a conversation, and I literally showed her my vision board, and I told her, I said, "Forbes is on my vision board," and she saw that, and she was like, "This is really good." And she actually liked my story, and she liked me because she said, "I don't know anybody that is so passionate about collections, especially business-to-business collections,
right.
and you want to serve the small business community." She said, "That's a really cool thing," and she's like, "I would be honored to do that." And we had the interview. And here's the thing, y'all. Even if they do the interview, it still has to be selected. It has to be received because you can submit your interview and they may not accept it. But when she wrote me back and said that Forbes liked it and they want to feature you, I was like, "God, thank you so very much," because that was a hallelujah moment for real.
Wow. It's so funny. Forbes is on my 2016 vision board. I just took a picture. I'm going to share with you on LinkedIn because it's on my board. Like it's right next to a Bentley and what kind of watch is it? Some kind of watch. But and I have vision boards all over my house. I had one in front of me, one to the left of me. I got two in my bedroom. I have them everywhere. I got one on my other desk on the side of me. I have vision boards everywhere. And I think it's so cool because we're internet time of the year, where it's everybody want to create a vision. I get it. But listen, you had it on your vision board and it happened. Now here's the thing. How long ago had you put that on your vision board?
Earlier this year.
Really?
This vision board is 2020.
Really?
January. Mm-hmm.
Look at God, y'all. Listen, LinkedIn and vision board sounds good to me. Listen, I know y'all about to start doing. I know y'all about to start doing them vision boards, LinkedIn and vision board. Put it out there. That's so amazing. So now I know you have this 52-week challenge, savings challenge that you're going to be starting. Tell us about that because I think this is going to help somebody who is not, and it's so funny, y'all. I'm going to say this real quick. She would be a Leo because this is the kind of stuff they do. Just so y'all know, I'm talking about the women. I don't know about the men because I don't find them to be as stable as the women. But the women, when it comes to this cash, they know how to handle that money. I'm telling y'all what I know for a fact for over 30 years. Now tell us about this 52-week savings.
Sure thing. So every January, I start something called the 52-week savings challenge. As a matter of fact, we got to find a way. I need to find a way to share the article with your listeners. But I'll tell you this. If you just Google 52-week savings challenge, there's basically a way. And what it is that it's a simple way to start your new year off right. I basically say you need to get your financial self set up for success in 2021 and beyond. And I feel like the easiest way to do that is to start off with the 52-week savings challenge. Because here's the thing. I was broke once, but now I'm not. And why am I not broke anymore? Because I started saving. I started saving with a very simple process. A good friend of mine taught me this. He said, I was broke, but now I'm not. And he said, you got to set some goals. And so he taught us the importance of setting goals. He said, let's do the 52-week savings challenge. Let's start off with, and y'all who are listening, you can just go to Google, type in 52-week savings challenge, and it'll come up with a bunch of different graphics. Pick whichever one works for you. And if your goal is to save $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, it doesn't matter. The point is to get started. Now, if you get paid every 2 weeks, here's the thing. If you don't want to follow the chart, then you can decide that when you get paid the 1st and the 15th or the 15th and the last day of the month, you're going to set aside a certain amount of money and you're going to save it. and you're going to be consistent. The key to the 52-week savings challenge is for you to start and be consistent, either over 52 weeks where you're saving some money every single week, or if that doesn't work for you, you can break it down and you can do it twice a month. Pick your date. If you get paid on the 15th and the last day of the month, X amount of dollars. If you're going to save $50, put $50 aside on that day and put $50 aside the next time. The point is, and look at what you will number one, you make a decision that I'm going to save this money and you don't spend it. Let me say that again. You save the money and you don't spend it. The goal is for you to come up with an amount of money at the end of the year, so you can say, I put myself first as a part of y'all gonna love this, as a part of my financial self-care. I decided that I'm gonna take care of myself and put some money aside so I'm not always broke. If COVID didn't teach you anything, you got to know you have to have some savings, because your life can be turned upside down. And listen, and please hear me. If $50 is too much, start off at $25. Here's the thing: the principle that I want you to get is that you're doing some of your own financial self-care, and you're starting off with something, and you're gonna set a goal. Let's set a goal for, say, saving $2,000. Okay, if you divide 2,000 by 12, whatever that number is, that's how much money you need to set aside every time you get paid, whether you're working your 9 to 5 or whether you're in business. But the point is start saving, and then don't spend that money. And then you can do this with your buddies. Y'all can do it. Now listen, I'm old school, so I might give me an envelope, right here, a little white envelope, 52 weeks, and I'll put the money that way. But if there's an app that makes it easy for you to save it, do it that way. The point is a part of your financial self-care is to make sure that you are saving up some money first, and then secondly, start working on getting, if you're in debt, come up with a plan to start to get out of debt. To start with the smallest debts first, pay off that one, then take that money and roll it over to the next one, so that a year from now you can look up and say you're looking at how well did you take care of yourself financially, and plan for better.
Nice. As you were talking, I was saying to myself, she should start the 52-week savings club over on LinkedIn. That's a group. I'm just throwing it out there. Because I know somebody's got to manage the group, but I just was thinking about that while you were talking. I thought that would be kind of cool to have the club, where everybody's like getting there together and like being accountable. But that's a lot of work, so I get it, because I run a community, the Butterfly Squad. I get it. It's so funny because this is what I've done. I've done a couple things, and savings is so important. And it's so funny because I was able to pay off this year. I had 5 credit cards. I paid off 3, completely paid off, that I don't touch. Yeah, that I don't touch. And I have 2 that I use all the time for business, and one for business and one for entertainment. So I have those 2, but the 3, I took them completely out of my wallet. I put them away so I can't even see them. Because here's the thing, you could get tempted. So if you know that you're tempted, get it out of your sight. It's like food and drugs. Get it out of your sight. I took the credit cards out and then put away. And it was so funny because I got a notice about, it was something, and I had put the card away and didn't even recognize the number when I got the notice. I'm like, well, what card is this? And I had to go digging and find the card. Oh, that's that card. But there was no money on it. It was nothing due because I paid it off. So I did that earlier this year, which was good. But another thing I do to save, I love Arizona tea, right? And every time we finish a jug of tea, I'll take the jug and paint it gold, and it becomes a bank. So any spare change, listen, savings is savings. If you can't start with $25, start with $1. Just save. That's what she's saying. Whatever. Now, if you're trying to save a large amount of money, it's going to take you a long time with $1. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But if you are saying, you know what, I want to do this discipline. So I have a granddaughter, and my husband bought her this thing full of candy, not candy, like Jell-O shots. It was like Jell-O shots for kids. It was so cute. And she ate all the Jell-O out of it, and it turns into a bank. So now, whenever we have change, we give her the change, and she's almost 2 years old. We tell her, go put it in the bank, and she puts it in the bank. That's starting early. So she knows that this is money, I need to save it, and she puts it in the bank. And so I'll have quarters, and if I don't put it in my bank in my office, I give it to her and let her put it in her bank. And she loves it. She thinks it's amazing. And it's like, this is a good thing. This is a good thing.
It is. And listen, so I do the 52-week savings challenge, and I also have a change jar. I'm old school. I have 2 change jars. And so as a matter of fact, I got to go get me a new one to start up January. So I do that for the year. Now, eventually, I'll take those and I'll go cash it out, and whatever, how much money I've saved, that money I'll go deposit it. But the point is that if you start small. I also want to say something. For everybody who's been listening, you've heard like all these things. Oh my gosh, she's been preaching here and this, that, and the other. Here's the thing. These blessings that I have received have come over me being faithful over small things for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. Let me say that again. It's been me being faithful over small things for a long period of time, that God can see me being faithful over the little things, and then I got to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. These things, everybody's like, oh my gosh, you just popped up. No, I've been at this for quite a while. I've been in my career for over 10 years. I just started, in the last 2 years, really talking a lot about collect the cash and secure your cash flow, and wanting to speak to business owners about this, and sharing my personal story of what happened to me. I mean, me working for a company, me losing my job, me having to start over again, and me having to figure things out, and then me deciding that how can I make a difference and a dollar, and I figured out by serving. So the greatest thing you can do is when you decide that you want to serve others, and so I've chosen that I want to serve others, serve business owners, how to secure their cash flow, collect their cash, stop leaving money on the table, stop having those what had happened was situations in their business with their money. And how can I do that? Is by me telling my story, by me being open, and then being, prayerfully, being a resource to the listeners. So just wanted to let people know that part.
Well, thank you so much. Listen, this has been a great, great interview. Tell people how to contact you.
Absolutely. So first of all, thank you, Ms. Audrey, for the opportunity. So the website for Beast Solutions is www.collectthecash.biz. That's www.collectthecash.biz. You can find me, D. Bowden, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on IG. I'm actually at D Collection. Oh, before I forget, let me tell y'all be on the lookout for the new book called Collect the Cash, dropping spring 2021. You'll find that also at www.collectthecash.biz/book.
And listen, she's coming back in April. We already talked about this off air. She's coming back in April because April is National Financial Literacy Month. So she's coming back. We're going to talk some more money. We're going to talk about the book. So listen, I know y'all got some good stuff today. I know y'all can't wait for her to come back, and we're going to bring her back because I'm sure by then some more amazing things probably will have happened to her that she can share with us. But she can also find out where you are, because there's going to be tax season time, where you are, and where that first quarter is going to be. We'll be going into the second quarter. So you need to know where you are in the challenge, right? How you doing? And then here's the thing. If you're doing a challenge, go over to goodmorninggwinnett.com and say, I'm doing a challenge. And so we're going to keep track of that, what you're doing. Dee, thank you so much for just being my guest today. And thank you so much. So I got to tell y'all this, and this is the first time this has ever happened, Dee. Dee talks about gratitude, right? And I've been doing the show, December is 2 years. I've done over 400 episodes of this show already in 2 years. Dee talks about gratitude, right? So I'm sitting here talking to her, and PayPal pops up on my phone, right? And I'm like, what? So here's the crazy part. I was like, somebody bought something for $15. It was her. I was like, what did she? Because here's the thing. I got stuff on my site, and I always say support the show by buying a product off the site, buying a book, whatever. She bought a mug. So I want to say thank you so much. You are the first guest to ever support the show. Even though I put great people on here, you are the first person who has ever done, and I've done over 400 episodes of this show. You're the first person who has been my guest. I'm kind of like choked up right now. It's kind of weird because I've interviewed a lot of people and nobody has ever gone there and said, you know what, let me support this show. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you so much.
You're welcome. No problem. My pleasure.
Happy holidays. And listen, I'll talk to you again in April. So I look forward to doing that. You have a wonderful, wonderful holiday.
Thanks, you too. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Listen, guys, I'm going to my last song. Then I'm going to come back and give you my word of inspiration for the day. So stay tuned.
But
Christmas song. That was a really nice Christmas song. Santa, hold on. Santa, hold on. Santa comes tonight for so many little children around the world. Some children are going to miss Santa tonight because of everything that's been happening with the pandemic and unemployment. And so my prayers go out to those, and prayerfully they will have a good Christmas despite everything that's happening. I know there have been a lot of great people who've been collecting food, collecting toys, collecting coats, and just doing some great things to help out, because there are a lot of people in our communities right now that are struggling, and they don't even know if Christmas is going to come tonight or not. So my prayers go out to those people. But before I go, I want to thank all of my listeners. I want to thank D. Bowden for just being a great guest today. I'm telling you, her energy, I could feel it through the speakers. Like, she has some great energy, and that's rare. There are people that I've interviewed that I do feel that from, and it's not many. I'm gonna say that I've interviewed some amazing people, but the energy that I felt from her was just great energy. So thank you so much, D, for being my guest this morning and sharing with my audience such great wisdom about money. And we're gonna have her back in April, guys, because we don't want to get caught out there like we got caught blindsided this time. They have found a vaccine that's going to help us, but then they found a new strain of COVID-19. So honestly, we don't know when this is going to end. We really don't. And so, but you don't want to be stuck. You don't want to be stuck wondering whether Christmas is going to come in 2021. You don't want to be there. So you need to learn how to start saving. So I'm going to get that article from D. I'm going to post it on the Good Morning Gwinnett website so you guys can read it and follow the instructions. Here's the thing. You got to make a commitment to yourself, right? I paid off 3 credit cards earlier this year, and thank God I did, because clients stopped coming when COVID hit. Like, I shut down when COVID hit. Like, they didn't even have to shut down because I shut down myself. But here's the thing, that was 3 less bills I had to worry about. And I got 2 left that I'm going to pay all the way down, and I'm only going to use them for the things that I need for the business and when I want to have some fun. And so here's the thing, y'all know I don't have a whole lot of fun because I work all the time. So that one probably won't have a whole lot of debt on it because I don't have a whole lot of fun. But I'm going to have a little bit more fun this year. All right. So here's my words of inspiration for the day. Let us have music for Christmas. Sound the trumpet of joy and rebirth. Let each of us try with a song in our hearts to bring peace to men on earth. Let me say that again, y'all. Let us have music for Christmas. Sound the trumpet of joy and rebirth. Let each of us try with a song in our hearts to bring peace to men on earth. Mildred L. Jarrell said that, and she was right. Listen, put peace in your heart. Have music. I love music. Music is a part of my day every day, and I love it. I want to thank you so much for listening to me today. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you spent the last hour and 9 minutes with me. And I want to thank Dia again for supporting this show. I say all the time, if you want to support the show, go to Good Morning Gwinnett, and there's an array of ways to support the show. You can buy a mug, you can buy a t-shirt, you can buy a book. It's all there. You can buy advertising, sponsorship. Everything is there to support the show. I don't plan on going anywhere. I really, really don't. Only thing I'm doing now is expanding Good Morning Gwinnett more and more and more every day. And so your support is definitely needed and wanted and appreciated. And I know listen to this show supports me as well. So I thank all of you who listen and all of you who send me great emails and text messages and Facebook messages and alignable messages. I thank you so much for doing that, because that helps me to say, you know what, I'm going to keep going. There's some days now, I ain't going to lie, some days I don't want to get out the bed. Even not to come down and talk to you, I'm just going to be honest. But then there are other days where I know I love what I do, and so I can't see me really doing anything else. So thank you so much for listening. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, happy Merry Christmas, all of that good stuff. Enjoy your family, enjoy your holidays. I'll be back again on Monday, God willing. Stay safe out there, guys, and until next time, make it a great day. Bye now.
You've been listening to Good Morning Gwinnett. Make sure to tune in Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time to find out what's happening around Gwinnett. If you like this episode, subscribe now and share with your friends. To learn more about Noise Media Network, visit noisemedia.us.